Good morning. For those who don't know me, my name is Katie Ritchie and I am the Youth Director at Seabrook United Methodist Church. I'm a first-time youth director, a first-time teacher, and a first-time virtual hostess. And this morning I am going to attempt all three roles simultaneously. This morning's Bible study is inspired by a question the Seabrook United Methodist Church posted on its Facebook page a few days ago. And that question is, what is your favorite Bible verse? I do not have a favorite Bible verse. I have several that resonate with me and I seem to find new ones every day. But today I would like to share two very special Bible passages that have really impacted me. And I'm going to read them aloud to you. But before I do that, I would like to explain to you why these passages are so precious. In September 2015, I left a job of 13 years to become a stay-at-home mom. And the first 6 months were great. The house was immaculate, cleaner than it had ever been. My son was going to bed at the same time every night at a reasonable hour, and the dogs were getting their baths regularly. I was burning fewer dinners. Everyone was getting along. By spring of 2016, I was getting stir crazy. I was craving something. I could feel my brain atrophy. And tuition on a single income was impossible. So I turned to Audible. And in Audible, I found a series of books called The Great Courses. The first Great Courses book that I read is called The Other Side of History by Professor Robert Garland, and it takes you through a daily life of ancient civilization. And in this 24-hour long book, there was one thing that has stayed with me for the past 4 years, and that is that the continuity of Christianity was saved when the requirement of circumcision was dropped. It's an oversimplification of Christianity's survival through the years, and I know it, but it is the hook that I needed at that time to rekindle my faith and explore Scripture. So I found and downloaded the YouVersion Holy Bible app on my phone and binge listened to the Bible in its entirety. Binge listening to the Bible read by a monotonous narrator with soothing music in the background has its downside. And if I were to guess, successfully completing the book in this manner has a success rate of less than 1%. Luckily, I came across my two special Bible passages just in the nick of time, and it has kept me going. Before I begin this study, I would like to preface with a nod towards the Wesleyan Quadrilateral. My words and understanding of Scripture are based upon my reasoning, my tradition, and my experience. I believe questions are what keep us grounded in our faith. They invite us to explore Scripture. They invite us to figure out how to apply Scripture. And so, as you listen to this Bible study, I want you to understand that I am sharing my thoughts with you. And I invite you to reach out to me and share your thoughts. The first passage that I'm going to read is Matthew 10:32 through 42. Whoever acknowledges me before others, I will also acknowledge before my Father in heaven. But whoever disowns me before others, I will disown before my Father in heaven. Do not suppose that I have come to bring peace on earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I have come to turn a man against his father, a daughter against her mother, a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies will be the members of his own household. Anyone who loves their father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. Anyone who loves their son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Whoever does not take up their cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Whoever finds their life will lose it, and whoever loses their life for my sake will find it. A few things stood out to me in this passage. I found it to be very combative. The Prince of Peace is telling us that he's bringing a pointy object symbolic of war and authority, which runs contrary to this vision I had of a serene Jesus holding a docile lamb in his lap. And it struck me. The passage indicates that we're going to defy our authority figures, our parents. It tells us that we're not worthy if we love our parents more than we love Jesus, which is a hard thing to hear when you don't like ultimatums. It left me with a little bit of heartburn until I found my next passage, which is Luke 12:49 through 53. I have come to bring fire on the earth, and how I wish it were already kindled. But I have a baptism to undergo, and what constraint I am under until it is completed. Do you think I have come to bring peace on earth? No, I tell you, but division. From now on there will be 5 in one family divided against each other, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. They will be divided, father against son, and son against father, mother against daughter, and daughter against mother, mother-in-law against daughter-in-law, and daughter-in-law against mother-in-law. There are 2 huge differences between these passages. In the book of Matthew, Jesus tells us that the Prince of Peace is not bringing peace, but a sword. He goes on to tell us that he is going to turn a man against his father and a woman against her mother, and that a man's household will become his enemies. In the book of Luke, Jesus is not bringing peace, but a fire. And when he describes the family division that he will bring, it's more balanced in Luke. He says that a son will turn against his father and a father against his son. A daughter will turn against her mother and a mother against her daughter. 2 against 3 and 3 against 2. It's far more balanced in Luke than it is in Matthew. Which made me think, what if Jesus is telling us that he's not bringing fire or swords? What if he's telling us he's not bringing punishment? What if he isn't even angry? What if Jesus is saying, I'm coming to tell you the truth. Some of you are going to like it. Some of you are not. And you're going to fight about it from here on out. Well, it's kind of refreshing, I think. Which further gave me liberty to ask the questions I've always wondered. So if Jesus is bringing the truth, and the truth is God, and God is love, then maybe when he says, if you love your family more than you love me, if you love your parents more than you love me, you are not worthy. What if what he's saying is, those 10 commandments are great, but you're overthinking everything. What you need to do is love. You need to love God and love your neighbor. And if you do those two things, you will satisfy every commandment God could ever give you, including honor your father and mother. So maybe what he's saying is not that we are supposed to defy our parents if they are not Christian. Maybe what he's saying is, you've got all these rules. You've got all these rules that you've got. But there's one biggie, and it is to love. And if you can't do that, you risk breaking all the rules. And guess what? People are not going to like what I have to say. So that's what I got. I would love to hear what you think. And I would love it if you sent me an email and shared with me. My email is Katie, Katie, at seabrookumc.org. I wish you and yours a beautiful weekend. Stay healthy and stay in touch. All my love.